Hey friends, my name is Brianna. I am from Crazy Vintage Lady in Northern Utah, and today I am here to teach you how to get comfortable putting colors together. So for me, what I have found with color, I do tend to like very different colors for my home as I do for art. Like for art, I love really bright, happy, cheerful colors. But when it comes to my home, I tend to like colors that are a little bit more earthy and grounded. And it's taken me a while to figure this out about myself. And I have learned all of this through hours and hours of playtime. I think we as adults feel guilty if we spend time sometimes sitting down to play. And it should be the opposite, because as a creative, you need playtime to be able to spark creativity and creative ideas. And playtime is a very fundamentally important part of the process. So what I'm going to teach you in this upcoming video is how I sit down and I play. Now, that doesn't mean that every time I sit down to play, I create the most amazing, magical things ever. Playtime is really the process for playtime for me, and I'm going to break it down super simply for you. And this is the whole kind of creative process as well, is it starts with an idea of what would happen if. And then after you get done doing that thing that you questioned, you sit back and you evaluate it. And you're like, what do I like? What do I not like? We're not being critical of ourselves. It's just as simple as this. What do I like about what I did? What do I not like? And then you take the stuff that you liked and you build on it. So either you add to it, you create new ideas from it, and the stuff you don't like becomes something you either step back and pull away, or something that you tweak to become something that you like. And it's as simple as that. So this video that I'm about to show you, what I do when I am playing with color and learning how I like to see color together, is I will sit down and I will grab 4 or 5 colors, sometimes 6, but 5 tends to be a really good number for me. And I will sit down and I just kind of grab colors that I feel drawn to at that moment. So sometimes I put colors together and it does not create beautiful, magical things. It does not. And I get done and I'm like, okay, I didn't like a lot of what happened. But sometimes I sit down and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've now created a new color that I love mixing. Or I've seen 2 colors come together that I really, really enjoy seeing together. And a lot of what you're going to see in my playtime, it's not only mixing, but it's all because I want to see what happens when I put, because when you are blending 2 colors together, they're going to mix. And so this is kind of an experiment. Do I enjoy how these colors mix together? Do I enjoy the color that they make? Do I like it shifted a little bit more? Like, let's say I'm mixing a blue and a green. Do I prefer to have it a little heavier on the blue side or a little heavier on the green side? Or maybe I like that whole gambit and I just need to start with 2 colors. And this is a whole process to figure out what I like. And that's really the most important thing about playing, because creativity is, and playtime is what leads you to being able to have your very own unique creative voice, because you're putting together things that you like and combinations of things that you find pleasant and enjoyable. And that's how your unique creative voice will come out into the world. So we're going to head into the video. I'm going to show you how I play. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them down below or message me on Crazy Vintage Lady and I will be happy to answer them for you. Thank you guys. All right, friends, let's get started. So today I found myself really pulled toward blue, gray, green, brown. So my first color is Letterpress Gray. It's our midline gray with DIY paint. The next color I grabbed was Mermaid Tell, which is a brighter blue undertone green. My third color is Bohemian Blue, which is a darker jewel-toned blue-green. Then I grabbed some Crinoline, which is a yellow undertone white. It's one of my favorite go-tos for mixing. We've got a little bit of Blue Iris, which is kind of a cobalt blue. And then for my final color, I have Prairie Gray, which is a gray-brown. which is a great color for mixing if you really like grayish colors. So here is my notebook. I use a multimedia pad from Hobby Lobby. It does a really good job of being able to hold on to media. I like having everything in a notebook. That way, if I'm feeling stumped on color at some point in the future, I can come back and really look at how all of these colors played together, and it will help spark creativity and creative ideas later for me. So keeping everything stored in a notebook is something that I really feel is important. Okay, you're going to notice that I use a lot of water. I use watercolor as one of my art mediums. It's something I go to a lot. And so I really like to see what happens when water will carry pigment. And right now I'm really just playing with those base colors. I also will flick little bits of paint into things just to kind of see how things kind of bleed and carry. So right now it's really just playing with those base colors and seeing how I like them together. And then you're going to start seeing me kind of mix, where I am going to take each one of the colors and mix it with every other single color that I have here. And that way I can see if I enjoy the color combos. So right now I'm grabbing a little bit of the letterpress gray and mixing it in with the crinoline. And this is a color combo that I really found very pleasant. It's a very soft, pale gray that's got a really warm undertone to it. And this is again why mixing and playing can be so fun. And as you can see, I'm grabbing just little tiny bits to mix colors, and it gives me the opportunity to see if I enjoy that color combo together, if I would like if those two colors were blended next to each other, and it really kind of wakes my brain up and lets me kind of visualize things. And I also will end up discovering colors that I wouldn't have ever thought about, and I think that's also really important for playtime. Okay, so you guys are going to see that I'm grabbing a little extra of the prairie gray. Throughout my whole process, I will go back to those base colors that I started with and add them in so that I can still see how my mixed colors work with them as well, so that I can keep everything really cohesive and grounded together. Okay, as we're getting to the end of the page, I will say this is where I found that I enjoyed a lot of those colors. I really enjoy blue and green together, and I really enjoy earthy colors, which is why when I got into mixing with the Prairie Gray, I found a ton of colors I really enjoyed, because the Prairie Gray gave them that really earthy tone. Now, as I step back and I evaluate, the one thing I can tell you, looking at it now and as I was doing it, while I love a lot of the colors that happen, I kept finding that the blue iris was a little bit bolder than I personally like. And some of you may be sitting here going, oh my gosh, that's my favorite part of it. And that's part of this, is that what you like and what I like are going to be different, and that's okay. That's where coming and finding your unique creative voice will really come into play, because it's a combination of things that you like. I hope seeing how I play and chase color and put color together has inspired you guys to spend a little bit more time playing and trying things out for yourself. And I do recommend that you mark the colors that you like the most. You take the time to use a marker and write down your color combos so that you don't forget how you mix them later. Do it while your brain is still fresh. If you guys do decide to try this exercise, please send me a picture over at Crazy Vintage Liddy. I'd love to see the color combinations that you guys came up with. And again, if you have any questions, you get stuck anywhere through the process, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm super accessible, and I want to make sure that you guys have as much fun mixing color as I do.